Hello and welcome to Daddy Daughter Fodder,
where conversation meets culture.
We tried that in reverse. It just didn't work. So, Lauren Elise, what are we talking about today?
We are being xenophobe central. I just stole that like 3 seconds ago.
Xenophobe central. So let me guess. We're going to be talking about illegal immigration, which is a huge hot topic. It is affecting a lot of people that it didn't affect before, and people are getting a dose of reality.
So funny thing about that, we were talking about it in class last week, and we use this AP style book. I'm in this class writing for the media, and the AP style book is basically a book that we use. AP stands for Associated Press Style Book, and editors come together in New York and they create this book. It's called Political Correctness on a Page, and it's basically describing every single thing that you're allowed to say. Like Ogden would love it. It's basically saying every single thing that you are allowed to say, how you don't get sued, political correctness, how not to offend anybody. We can't use the term transvestite. Can't do that. Has to be cross-dresser. Okay, that's just what we have to do. We can't use there's just all of the fun things like that. And we were actually talking about how we actually can't call illegal aliens.
Okay, stop. Let me clarify something.
Yeah.
I have and I see no biblical opposition to
calling people what they are.
No. To immigration from one country to another.
Yeah, absolutely.
The problem and the reason the terminology matters and people want to eradicate the terminology is because it is illegal immigration that I have a massive problem with. Why? Because of the first part of the terminology.
Illegal.
So if you can't change the philosophy, you change the terminology. That's what Ogden does. See, the reason Ogden doesn't have a voice is because his voice is on a lot of local mainstream media sources, day and night, 24/7. So he gets his say.
He doesn't have time for his voice to be over here with us.
Yes. So we're taking a pause and letting Ogden sit and listen to rationality for a moment. It's the illegal aspect. Now let me go biblical for just a moment. Borders were designed by God. That was God's idea.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So normal people don't have a problem with immigration.
Normal people.
But
keyword.
Illegal immigration, everybody should have a problem with because it is societally destructive. Now, when an immigrant comes into a country, and you try this in any country other than the United States, and you will get a big wake-up call. So those of you...
I feel like in the United States, we're seen as kind of like because we're the melting pot, because we're like refugee central. I feel like a lot of people hold on to us because we are a country that's built out of a lot of immigrants, and people constantly see us. And so I feel like societally around the world, we feel a lot of pressure to be open. I feel a lot of pressure to, come one, come all, because we have a reputation to uphold.
Let's go back to the terminology. You said the melting pot. That is the reputation. But how many of you, and if you're listening, how many of you know the terminology and understand exactly what the melting pot means? It means, do you know what it means? Tell me what it means. She's homeschooled, so that's cheating. But tell me what the philosophy behind the melting pot.
We have all of the cultures, all of the ethnicities, all of the different things. They come together and they melt and they mold. It's where they meet, and we can celebrate them and we can love them. We can still be a unified nation, but have different aspects of different cultures, of different things, all coming together under one flag.
Well, and the idea is that we put down, you can't come, and even with the terminology, we have African American, we have Asian American, we have Irish American, we have all of these things, and the problem is there was no melting that happened. We are Americans, and the idea of the melting pot, I'm just giving you the philosophical understanding and reality that has been consistent through the history of the United States, is that we would lay down several individual or different cultures and different identities and come together as Americans, one nation under God. That
Indivisible.
That's the motto. So united we stand, divided we fall. When people come to America and try to recreate Afghanistan, or come to America and try to recreate any other country within the context of an American culture, then we miss one big aspect of that. Now, the reason you have legal immigration is so that when people come over from other countries, they don't know what the ideas, what the philosophy that has made America to be the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And I believe that. I believe that the religious freedom, they haven't had that. They don't understand that. They don't understand those things. But when you come through the right pipelines and you receive the right education and understanding and perspectives, you can become part of that very powerful united collective. I think what's happened is that we have become divided and marginalized over all of our individual preferences and references when we refuse to embrace the cumulative idea of what America is. Even with the United States, our states even seem to be divided.
What I don't get, what I personally don't get, is why you would come over illegally and then people expect you to act legal.
And it's impossibility. It's an impossibility. You're doing them a disservice, and this makes sense. Now, the problem is the media is just catching on to it, the mainstream media, because it hasn't affected those people in those elite positions. They can sit back in their ivory towers and live with the philosophical, but sooner or later, as you hear us say all the time, reality will prove or disprove your philosophy.
I saw this video that Caitlin Bennett did, and she was going over on to this place that people were protesting about illegal immigration. I want to say it was in DC, and she went up to these people and she brought one of her constituents with her and said, "This is so and so, and he's an illegal immigrant. Are you willing to give him your house keys? Like right now, like you can help him out right now. You say that we need to do that right now. Are you willing to give him $20 right now? Are you willing to do all of this stuff that you say that we should be willing to do? Are you willing to do that right here, right now?" And not a single one of them said yes.
Let me appeal logically. What if America, and again, I have no problem, I'm not a xenophobe, I'm not anti-immigrant. I have the documentation where my great-grandfather came over through Ellis Island as a 115-pound Irishman during the potato famine. I get it.
After we got banished from Scotland.
Yeah, we were kicked out. Anyway, but people want a better life. I get that. But there's a right way, a legal way, and an illegal way. When you come over illegally, you're failing to recognize the one thing that makes America work. We are a government, a nation governed by laws. I asked somebody recently, what is the American governmental system? What is the government of America? People say, well, it's a democracy. No, America is not a democracy. Well, America is a republic. Well, kinda, and it does have democracy or democratic, elements. But what are we, Kristen? What is America?
A constitutional republic.
Oh, a constitutional republic. That means that it is governed by laws and representatives to enforce those laws.
But can we talk about how absolutely scary it is that most people think that the United States is a democracy? Like, that is terrifying. Like, all of these people be like, this is what I would do with X, Y, and Z. Like, we're a democracy. Like, get rid of the Supreme Court. That's not democratic. We're not a democracy. What?
Yeah, and it's to keep, and here's
How did you graduate high school?
And the idea is to keep the people who don't understand the reality and how reality really affects what we do and don't do from coming to a place of prominence and power that they destroy what wise people took the time to build.
Literally, look into the American government system. It's a really intricate way of checks and balances, and I find it fascinating personally.
Give me one example where mob rules has turned out well.
It hasn't. That's what we did in arenas. And then you want to go back to the gladiator fights? I didn't think so.
Well, I think that we get convoluted, but the idea of illegal immigration, listen, you can be pro-immigration and be anti. See, two things can be true at one time. And this is what we have got to be intellectually honest and smart enough to see, that we're not coming and dividing ourselves over things. If you're okay with illegal immigration, I don't understand you and I don't agree with you and I never will. If you are okay with legal immigration, then we're on the same sheet of music. But there's certain things, safety issues, there's a lot of things that will make it necessary for the perpetuation of us as a country into the future. But what if we do illegal immigration legally and correctly, and we enforce it correctly? Think about how that would affect the overall health of the nation, number one, the unity of the nation, and it would enable us to help other countries. What if we spent our resources and our times, instead of trying to put every illegal immigrant on Social Security, which is an impossibility, instead of giving every illegal immigrant driver's license without insurance, so they're costing those people who do follow the law and destroying. You don't look at those little things, but those are realities. Well, what if we took those resources and said, let's use this for the betterment of our systems, or of our citizens, and then let's help other nations. Let's encourage them. Let's model these things to them and reach out and help them where they are. A lot of times people are leaving to come here because of the depraved nature of where they are, especially in South America right now with the cartels and a lot of things that are going on.
Central America, all of the things that are happening.
So let's talk about why illegal immigration is bad from a common sense perspective right now. One, if it's illegal, you have no idea who's coming. When you look at the demographic that's crossing the border right now,
There's no way that they know the laws.
well, there is a massive amount of undocumented people who are coming in from countries all over the world. They're coming through the gateway of South America, but they are coming from all over the world, literally. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but think this through for just a moment. How easy?
I'm fully ready to be a conspiracy theorist. Are you crazy?
Well,
Conspiracy. I don't care. I'm fully ready. Let's jump. Where's my tin hat?
With open borders, how easy would it be for a nefarious country who did not have our best interest in mind to begin to intentionally infiltrate the United States? And if I can think of this,
I wouldn't consider myself a particularly smart person, but even I can wrap my head around it.
If I can think of this, I mean, we just found out that the Chinese had their own police station set up in one of our blue cities. Think about that for a moment.
You want to explain that?
Any country on the face of the earth right now could be setting up terrorist organizations and systems right in America, and we have people screaming for their right and their ability to do so. Look, I'm just going to be honest with you. I appreciate people and different philosophies, but when it comes to philosophies that could absolutely destroy the well-being of my family and the well-being of our nation, guys, we've got to think a little broader.
Don't even start Ogden. I don't want to hear it.
Ogden, yeah, but that's mean, and you're xenophobes. No, that's names that you call people when you don't have rational reasons for repudiating their ideology. So you call them names. Ogden calls a lot of names, but we're forgiving Ogden. We're overlooking.
He's doing his best. Don't you see? He's been so quiet this whole episode.
Yeah, so
good.
So I want to encourage you, pray for our government, pray for those who are in leadership to step back and do what is best for the country, not just support some ideology that comes from who knows what the source is.
And as per usual, don't forget to always be praying for
shameless plug
for the unborn with 40 Days for Life, which is a national, actually international organization that has saved thousands of babies since its inception, and they now get to live.
Shameless plug for the student organization that is on college campuses.
Students for Life.
Students for Life. Your high school, your college campus.
All of the stuff to be
the above.
Students for Life. Again, please check them out if you would like to get involved in pro-life ministries and organizations. Do that. We are literally saving lives, and I don't even have to be in the military for that, bro.
Isn't that great? That's awesome.
So good. I don't even have to list.
It's awesome.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining us this time. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.